Hello and welcome to the S39 ISFL Draft. I am your host, CC. I'm the button clicker. I have three other people with me who will introduce themselves now.
Hey everybody, I'm Russ Drives the Bus, co-GM for the San Jose SaberCats, and I'm going to be reading picks for the Cats, the Colorado Yeti, and the Sarasota
Hello
Sailfish.
and welcome to the
I guess I'll go next.
Yep.
Hey everyone, I'm Zan. I'm the GM of the New York Silverbacks. I will be reading for the Silverbacks and as well as the Orange County Otters and Baltimore Hawks.
I think UC forgot he has push to talk on.
No, I forgot to mute the stream on my YouTube because I'm watching. I just have it on the side, and I completely got so confused there. I was like, "What's going on?" I'm UC. I'm the Austin co-GM. I'll be reading for Austin, Arizona, and Honolulu.
As always, I forgot to say who I'm reading for. I'm reading for obviously Chicago because I'm the Chicago GM, and I'm also reading for Yellowknife and the Cape Town Crash. All right, let's get this started. First up is Honolulu.
So, with the first overall pick of the ISFL draft, the Honolulu Hahalua select Seth Levitt Voxeroth of the Kansas City Coyotes, a cornerback. Here is what Honolulu GM had to say about this player. Tank for Vox. Up within KCC, we knew very early in the season this was our pick. Amazing user. Can't wait to officially have him in Hon with us.
Yeah, solid notes. That's correct.
Very detailed note. Vox
Yes.
was awesome. I feel like Vox was a very clear number one overall.
A lot of good picks in this one, but he sort of made it simple for Honolulu.
All right. Next up, we have Colorado.
And that is me. So with the second pick in the draft, Colorado Yeti select Waylon Green, defensive end from Dallas, user Nord Siduk. And they sent notes in for this one. Nord Siduk is an absolutely astounding user who has been an inspiring presence for the Dallas Bird Dogs. Every member of our war room with familiarity sung their praises in earnest, and combined with their wonderful interview skills, this was an easy pick to make.
I did it again. I forgot
What
to
did you
switch
again?
the slide.
I see the slide.
Yeah, I'm sure you do since it's in Discord. It's fine. It's fixed now.
What do you need me to do? Can I just
Nothing.
keep going?
Yeah, no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, we are on cloud nine. We get to bring their considerable talents to Colorado, and we hope to have them in Yeti colors for years to come. So, that was perfect execution. I'm glad that worked out super well for everybody involved.
All right, just so Vox can see the slide, we can go back for just a second. There you go.
Oh wow, I didn't. So we didn't have slides up at all for the first.
Yeah, no,
picks.
we were on the thumbnail. Thank you, Infinite, for pinging me. I know I do this once every other draft.
Boy.
Keep everyone on their toes. All right, next up we have Orange County.
And with the third overall pick, the Otters will be selecting Sim Sung, or soon.
Close.
I don't know. Close enough. Simiz from KCC. The Otters had this to say. Simiz amazed us during the scouting process. They had an awesome scouting conversation with us, and they checked all the boxes we were looking for between locker room fit and earning. They were a top tier prospect in the class and fill a big position of need. We are pumped to select them here at 3 overall.
Nice. I know that Simmons was someone we were looking at coming up to our pick as well. And our pick is up next. So with the fourth pick, Chicago selects running back Frank Ducks, user Wrecker. I have a feeling that Wrecker is pretty surprised by this pick. He told me while I was scouting him that he didn't expect to be taken in the first round or maybe even the second round. I even told him that I wouldn't be picking him because he kicked my ass in the Halo League. But he's an awesome user. who's proven that he can earn well. In my scouting notes, I think the first thing that was mentioned was that he's one of the best conversations I had in this scouting cycle. His last player was sim blessed, so hopefully we can count on Frank Ducks also being sim blessed, and we're happy to have him on the team. How do you feel about this, Sam?
Yeah, I was gonna chime in. We're definitely a bit. I'm happy, always happy to see my former players going high. But it's definitely kind of sad to see him in a different color. He's an amazing locker room presence, and he'll be a great member of like either your locker room, your war room, whatever you need him to do. He'll fit in great. And I'm sure Chicago fans might remember a pretty legendary play
Yeah,
where his player caught the ball, and then for some reason he ran the other way a few yards before running back in for a touchdown. It's
there's a
probably one of the most iconic plays in ISFL history,
yeah.
unbiased.
Yeah, no, you're right. There's a GIF that
And
gets
I'm
posted
sure
every
this is the
once in a
reason
while.
why Chicago knew they couldn't let him do it to them again.
Every
So
time
they had to take him.
every time someone posts that GIF in Chicago, I always say the same thing, taunting whatever number Tug was on the offense. All right. Now that we are done talking about that torturous play, Sarasota is on the clock.
And they have a pick. It's wild. Here we go. The 5th pick in the first round. Sarasota selects Willie or Miller. User SebServe from the London Royals. In this draft, these are notes from Sarasota. In this draft, we knew we needed to address the QB position to secure the future of the team. Fortunately, this draft was absolutely loaded with the QB position. Unfortunately, there are also multiple other teams targeting quarterbacks. So we knew Seb was our guy and didn't want to mess around and give anyone else a chance to get him. One of the GMs is very familiar with Seb through their seasons together in London, and he's a reliable guy that you need at the QB position and a great person to have in the locker room. Seb,
Doubt.
big, he's a big name around these parts.
Definitely.
And if these parts are London.
I know I was a little bit upset whenever I DM'd Seb to scout him and he told me he was switching to QB.
Yeah, that do be rough. Seb is a good dude, though. They've got a good one there, so hopefully that stabilizes their quarterback position for a while. They get to build up around it.
Yep, hopefully it doesn't go too well, though. And
yeah, definitely not.
Next up, we have
just like Baltimore. Average well.
Yeah, average would be good. Yeah, good, but losing, even better. Next up is Baltimore.
Yep. All right, I'm back. So for the 6th overall pick, the Hawks will be selecting Jake Williams, dude man, from Tijuana. This is what they had to say. Everyone across the league has kind of heard of this pick was coming before it was. Dude Man is an amazing and dedicated user who works within many areas of the league, including Sim Team, Casino Head, and HO Intern, as well as countless other jobs within the league currently and in the past. As a former DSFL GM and the S39 ISFL MDM, Most Dedicated Member winner, Dude Man is not just picked for his incredible personality, knowledge, insight, and earning, but also picked in part to become our next GM for when the Hawks rises. Okay. That kind of, sucking up to him a little bit, I see.
I know that
but
go ahead.
Before the draft, everyone kind of knew that Baltimore wanted to hire Dude Man as their next GM. And luckily, all the teams before them were willing to, let him fulfill his wishes and become the GM there. So I'm sure they'll do great things in Baltimore, and he's an awesome user. And like the thing said before, he has like all the jobs in the league. So if you ever want to do something, you probably should contact him.
You say that everyone knew this trade was coming, which should be accurate because Baltimore let us know about it. But I definitely embarrassed myself a little bit whenever I reached out to Dude Man to scout him because I completely forgot that had happened.
Attaboy, CC, yes. He's just being thorough, dude. You're just being thorough.
Exactly. You never know what's going to happen. Never know.
Maybe your pitch would have changed his mind.
Exactly. All right, you see, looks like your team is up next.
Oh boy. So with the 7th overall pick, the Austin Copperheads select Mario Molokai, a defensive tackle for the Norfolk Seawolves. Numbers, he's a really cool dude. He's a guy like everyone. I feel like everyone loves him. You know, I don't know anybody who's like I don't like numbers. It's like no, everyone loves him. And like, talking to numbers, it's always awesome. You know, just a really great guy. So glad that I could be teammates with him because like I didn't think we'd have a chance to draft him at the beginning of the year. So I'm very excited about this.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people mocked Numbers as like the first overall pick due to like his Honolulu connections and just everyone knows Numbers. He's like everywhere in every Discord channel, always chatting and being a positive presence. So I'm sure he'll fit in great in Austin.
Yeah, I know that Honolulu was looking to trade up with us to draft Numbers, and uh, Ice Bear didn't originally tell me who they were after with the trade, but after I said no and made it clear that there was nothing that was going to happen, I convinced him to tell me who it was. And right around then is whenever you picked Numbers, and he was convinced that I had told you.
Ice Bear was devastated when we picked him.
Yeah, yeah,
And
understandably
for the
so.
record, CC did tell them. So
I
Ice
did
Bear,
not tell
you're right to be
anyone.
mad.
I didn't
Good.
even tell
You're right
my
to be
own.
mad.
I didn't even tell my own co-GM.
Ice Bear, make
I
sure
wouldn't
you
even-
run this
I don't even
vendetta into
talk
the
to
ground.
CC. If I don't talk to CC unless I'm
Exactly.
like, I
The
don't know
last
what-
DM that UC got was draft notes from last draft for me.
and I didn't even respond to him when he said
Exactly.
send those.
Kind
I
of
just
rude, to be
left
honest,
them
but
undelivered.
whatever. Orange County's up next.
They have plenty of picks. OCO are picking again, and with the 8th overall pick, the Otters will be selecting Johnson Lovehammer from Loki. Here's what they have to say. Loki was one of our top options in this draft also. They not only had a great scouting combo, but their DSFL GMs also gave us great feedback when we asked about them. After an offense-heavy draft last season, we are excited to add 2 key pieces to build our defensive core with our 2 firsts. Yeah, and
Hey,
Loki's someone I know pretty well too. He's pretty well known in PvE. We're both on the point task team over there, and he definitely carries the load. Don't tell whoever is in charge of point task over there that he does most of the work, but he's an awesome user, and he's gonna fit in with OCO pretty well.
hey Zan,
What's up?
did you put your draft notes or Orange County's draft notes through a word inflator?
No, I did not, but it
But
definitely
he's
kind of.
gonna now.
Okay, I just heard also like 9 times in that read, so I
They wrote also a few times in here,
okay.
but
All right, just making sure because we always joke about doing that.
The joke has become a reality.
Right.
It's happening right before our eyes.
All right. Next up, we have Baltimore.
oh, that's me again.
Oh,
With
no.
the 9th overall pick, the Hawks will be selecting MC Hammer from Enix. Rounding out our last first round pick here, we wanted to select someone here that would solidify our defense, and Enix checked all those boxes for us. A well known PvE and Sim League user in general that joined late, Enix brings in a cool and fresh mindset for the league. And they said, check out the podcast he's in. As well as that team first mentality that we were searching for. This pick was a no-brainer for us, and I'm glad we were able to select him here. We also got to unite the youngest of the Hammer brothers. So I guess Baltimore has a few players named Hammer, so I guess he's part of that. I didn't know that he was with them all, so that's kind of cool.
I didn't realize either. Yeah, I heard a lot of good things. I heard a lot of good things about Enix from people from other leagues, so I was a little bit bummed to see him go this early.
And my guy went to scout, and he actually made us a slideshow trying to convince us to draft him. So it was pretty hard to not take him, but yeah.
Nice.
There's a slideshow.
All right. Next up is Honolulu again.
Oh, that's me. With the 10th overall pick in the ISFL draft, the Honolulu Hahalua select Maxwell Jacob Friedman, Juosu, a linebacker from Portland. And this is what they had to say. I have heard such amazing things about this user, both ISFL and across multiple leagues. We were extremely excited to see her here at this pick and jumped all over it, hoping she can give us that boost in the WR we are needing as we continue with our rebuild.
Did this man just say WR?
That's what the note says.
Bless you.
It looks like Aneeks wanted you to mention that the slideshow had a pie chart, by the way.
It did have a pie chart.
Okay. Anyway, back to
I
Juosu.
would have preferred a bar graph.
Yeah, Juosu, very long time user, proven to earn on every player that they've ever had, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
very
I feel like
consistent.
I remember Josu having players since I joined the league in like S22.
Mhm.
So been around a long time.
Oh, they were around longer than that. They were part like way ages
From
with
the
them.
beginning.
When New Orleans became New Orleans, they were like part of that.
Wasn't New Orleans like one of the first expansion teams?
They were I'm not sure if she was
They rebranded
part of-
from Vegas.
yeah, I'm not sure if she was older than that or not. I know she was on OCO like back in the old
heyday.
days. She was one of their GMs and won an Ultimus like in season 1 or 2 or 3.
All right, so been around a real long time.
Yeah.
Proven track
Definitely like
record.
a very good pick, and it's kind of surprising that like she slid this far, honestly.
Yeah, just a lot of good picks.
A lot of good picks. All right, Zan, let's see who you and the Silverbacks took.
Yes, with the 11th pick in the first round, New York will be selecting Dante Darius Void, DCXI. I didn't add that part. If
now you
anyone
did.
has been following New York for a while, they know that Boyd has been a long time Silverback. His last player, Brandon Prince, was like one of the biggest steals of like S28. We took him in like basically the IA land, and he ended up being a great user for us. And we were shocked that he was falling to this pick. When we initially like were talking to GMs and stuff, like trying to guess who we'd get, a lot of teams had Void in their like top 2 or 3 people. So I kind of expected him to be a top 5, top 6 player. And the fact that he slid all the way to 11 was really great for us. And we're happy to bring him home back to New York, where he can like rejoin our inner locker room. And I'm super thrilled that we were able to bring him in.
Yeah, whenever I mentioned that Wrecker was one of my top conversations this scouting cycle, Void was also very high up there, maybe top 3, I would say. So these New York guys, I'm shocked they're such good users. But next up we have Yellowknife, which is me. I haven't talked in so long. With the 12th pick, the Yellowknife Wraiths select defensive tackle Mo Gago, user FTR. Arcs had this to say: the old adage is that teams are built from the lines out, and that's something we still believe here in Yellowknife. When there's a talented player in the draft on the defensive line, we always want to give them special consideration. We were very impressed with Mo Gago, and we think he could be a critical component to our team in seasons to come. We are looking forward to having FTR in our locker room as well as we continue our Ultimus chase. Was Mo Gago the top earner in the class? Does anyone know that offhand?
You're certainly close to it.
I feel like I remember seeing FTR at like the top of my scouting sheet
Third.
whenever I sorted by TPE. Third, okay.
But still
very impressive, though.
Very good. I mean,
Yeah.
third by just a few.
FTR is a new user, right?
believe so.
New
I
to
think they had
new
a
to all
player like
sim
a
leagues or
long
new to
time
just
ago.
ISFL? What'd you say, you see?
No, I think they had a player like a really long time ago.
Oh,
Like, because I know they had a PBE player back in like 2018.
gotcha. Cool.
Yeah.
So knows the leagues.
Nice. All right. We've got Honolulu up next with pick 13.
Oh, that's me. So with the 13th overall pick, Honolulu select wide receiver Dick Grayson 5. Here's what they had to say about this pick. With wide receiver as a big position of need, we are excited to bring them on. In addition to the locker room activity, we think this is a high value pick here late in the first.
Yeah, fair enough. That's another well-known user. It's been around a long time here, so pretty consistent presence for this late in the first round. And Lord knows Honolulu had how many picks in this first round? Like 4 or 5 at this point.
Right.
So that's just another great one to add. Loading up.
Yeah. We had Tiath on his last player, I think, in Chicago, and he's very good earner, very locker room active. Great pick here.
Yeah, and his last player was pretty sim-blessed too.
Mhm.
I remember like he had like 200 TP and he broke some like tackles for loss record. So I expect Dick Grayson to randomly go off like for Honolulu whenever he goes up.
Absolutely. Also, Russ, didn't we draft a Dick Grayson during our time as Minnesota GMs?
I'm pretty sure we did, yes,
It
because
was,
that kept ringing in my head.
I can't remember what his Discord name was or forum name, but yeah, we definitely did.
Yes. Hopefully this one is more active than that one.
Hopefully, yes. Anyway, Arizona is on the clock.
That's me again. So, with the 14th overall pick in the draft, the Arizona Outlaws select Donovan Winters, quarterback, user Zeagle1. This is what Arizona had to say. As a longtime Arizona player, we had our eyes on Zeagle since the moment he created and was someone we really wanted to bring back. He's always been such a great person around the locker room and has been extremely active, and to know that we have our QB position sorted for a while makes me happy as a split watermelon. Very interesting metaphor, I guess.
It's got to be a SEMO thing. That's
It
got
says
Australia written all
This
over it.
one was
Jack
this Simo?
Simo at the end of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's
He
got
does
Australia
like
written
to
all
he
over
does
it.
like to insert his culture into his draft notes. That's true.
And bless him, we love culture.
Yep.
But that is certainly one that we're not familiar with.
Also, Russ, that player
What?
was Wackio.
Yeah, okay.
Wackio,
that,
yep.
that
S26. It's been a minute.
Jeez.
Why is the split watermelon happy?
Well, you just gotta
Right.
know.
You,
I don't even know.
if you know, you know, and none of us know.
No.
All right.
Never let them know your next move.
Yep.
Which is great.
At this
'cause we
point,
do
I
have
think
another
Simo's
move.
just making things up.
For
honestly.
sure. And why not? We
Right.
can't question it. There are like 5 people in the league who could.
Right.
And they're all asleep.
Okay. Austin is up next.
That's 3 in a row for me. Ain't that
You would
some
think
shit?
that you would have got the one that was you. You know?
Your own team, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. So with the 15th overall pick, the Austin Copperheads select Geralt, safety,
it's Geralt.
laser. Shut up.
Oh no,
We-
dude. Oh no.
So we were pretty surprised that we managed to get the commissioner at 15th out of the first round. I know a lot of people's first round like predicty thingies are probably gonna be busted because of this one, but we were really excited to get to bring him in. We really need a safety, especially a free safety. So it fills a need, very excited to add him to our locker room and to our war room.
And also very embarrassing that you didn't know the pronunciation.
Yeah, probably won't be there too long, to be honest.
Yep.
That's gonna be a deal breaker, sadly. Hate to see it. Enjoy your contract talks.
Okay.
Enjoy these nuts.
Oh shit. Got him.
Jesus.
Got him.
He did. And you know what? Call got somebody too. How about
Yep.
that? Yep, Colorado is up with pick 16, and they have made a selection. And that selection is Cadvrain. It's a Starcross. That's
Oh my god,
It's
you
a
didn't know how to
player.
pronounce that? Really?
And then pull that out. Really?
Yeah, I'm just sick. You couldn't tell. It's all right. This has been around a long time. They definitely have history with Colorado, and they also have notes. RANG is America's largest anti-sexual violence organization that works to both help survivors and to make sure that perpetrators are brought to justice. I'm just going to use the letters. NCADV is a similar organization focused on empowering victims of domestic violence and seeing justice done in regards to the abusers. The organizations in question are both considered 3-star charities by Charity Navigator, so you can give to them with confidence. If you are looking for a good organization to donate to, then please consider RAIN and NCADV. Thank you.
Well, now I feel kind of bad about making fun of your pronunciation.
Yeah, I didn't know if I should try to go with a like a verbal or just use the letters. So there we are. But yep, it has long history with Colorado, and this is them using their name for a great message. So good for them.
Awesome. Next up, we have Cape Town, and I think this would be a good time to talk about Cape Town, formerly the Philadelphia Liberty. They've decided to rebrand for the upcoming season. And Negs sent me a little note to read about their rebrand. So I'm going to read that now. He says, as this is our first draft with our new branding, we as a team just wanted to say a few things about the rebrand. If you would like to know more about the rebrand overall, please check out our announcement in the GM announcements section of the forum. You can find that pretty much at the top of the forum. First of all, we are extremely excited about the team's new era and truly think that it will be a positive change for us and the league. We've been a team that has more or less been branded as the meme team that always finds a way to screw up, and while it can be fun for moments, it can be exhausting. Even the users that we've drafted recently were already feeling that reputation. We've been feeling as a team that it was time for a change for a while now, and we're all absolutely over the moon about this rebrand. We do not expect everyone to love the rebrand. We understand that changing a historical branding is a big thing, and we understand that those who are upset about that as well. However, we just ask that as a team, you try to understand where we're coming from with this, and we're happy for the team in general. Thanks, everyone. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, the Philly curse is an ongoing meme in the league. And I made the joke in the announcement post that Cape Town curse kind of rolls off the tongue better, but hopefully their Philly curse doesn't follow them to South Africa. So
be a long way to go.
It would be a long way. You can only run so far. So, all right. So pick 17. Cape Town curse. Cape Town. No. Oh no. I'm so sorry. Cape Town crash. The Cape Town crash.
That's kind of a dope name, though.
You did this to yourself.
They should have done it. Just own it, you know?
Oh no. Oh no.
All right. The Cape Town crash. Select to trade.
Whoa, a trade. Surprisingly, the first one of this draft.
I know. It was late for a first trade.
So this pick will make sense after we make it, but basically after picking Void, there was one other user that we really wanted, and we didn't want to take any chances because there was a few teams sniffing around. So we decided to trade up from this spot to 17 overall to try to make sure we got the guy we wanted. And the 17th pick in the ISFL draft will be Blaine Flacco, TJ. This is going to be our quarterback of the future. TJ is a guy that we know pretty well. He was brothers of Zachy, who went to Chicago or Rucker, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since we heard that he was trying to recreate as a quarterback, we wanted him to be our guy. We know he's a really good user to have. He's a max earner and a very pleasant person to talk to. And we're really excited to see what he can do with our offensive weapons that we've been drafting over the last few years. And in a few years, when unfortunately, whenever Musi decides to hang it up, we're thrilled to have someone in the wings like TJ, who can come in and like lead the offense and help New York, hopefully, win a few rings or something.
Nope.
That's all right.
I said a few. I was being kind.
No,
You guys can have others.
You guys can make the playoffs, so that's okay.
We really like TJ, but like I said earlier in the draft, we don't need a quarterback. So, yeah, it'd be like that sometimes.
They do. Always hard to have talks with QBs that are staying QB when you don't need a QB.
Absolutely. All right. My team is on the clock, and with pick 18, Chicago will be selecting wide receiver, plant-based, user Thor. We've swung and missed on some newer users in the past. We don't need to bring up any names, but we decided to play it a bit safer this time around and draft Thor, a longtime user. He said he isn't planning on being a huge max earner on this player or anything, but sometimes slow and steady wins the race. Hopefully Thor can put together a good career in Chicago, and he's one or two seasons removed from Painted, our new quarterback, so hopefully they can grow together and have nice parallel careers.
Yeah, Thor was also on New York for a little bit towards the end of his career. He had some really good seasons. He's actually a great lock. Even he was a little bit less active than he was like back in his OCO days with his first player. But he was still like a very great locker room presence. And like when we got him, it was kind of like an add-on to a trade. And we were kind of surprised how great he fit in with the locker room and just like what a positive individual he is to have around. I'm sure you guys won't regret this pick. And hopefully he can do some big things in Chicago. And also stop picking former New York players, please.
Was Thor's first player Prince Vegeta?
No, that was Jeffy. His first player
was it
no, he was the tight end that I'm blanking on his name.
I can't remember his name either, but he played
Heath I just remember he said give Heath ball a lot.
And it was the one
Heath
that was
Evans, Heath something like that.
I don't know if it was Heath Evans. I don't know if he was named after the Steelers tight end. But yeah, I definitely remember him being a tight end, and I don't know, was he one of the reasons we started putting more scrutiny on awards for players playing out of position because he played so much wide receiver as a tight end?
Yeah,
there's a good chance he was quite dominant at tight end.
Okay, it was Heath Evans,
especially in his
The chat's saying Heath Evans. Yeah, nice. ISFL historian Zan.
W.
Okay, we've got Baltimore on the clock now. Did UC fall asleep? Is that UC?
I don't.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's me.
Oh.
You gave him a compliment and he had to mess it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna you'll see why I wasn't prepared. With the 19th overall pick, Baltimore will be selecting a trade.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Whoa.
I forgot.
also, me saying this will explain it makes less sense now because OC is also a team I read for. So I should have been ready either way.
Got him.
But this trade, Baltimore will be getting the later second round pick, and then picking up the earlier pick of whichever pick is earlier in S40 of either OCO's second or Baltimore's second. So they get basically a trade down this draft and a trade up next year. Yeah. And with this pick, OCO will be picking Smokin' J, G-Beck 765. Often called the greatest quarterback prospect of his generation in the preseason. Beck failed to live up to the hype of his first BSFL season, leading his squad to a defeated 0-14 record while throwing
Yikes.
27 interceptions.
Oh my god.
I love this. Keep going.
I didn't even know that. Is that a
Because
real
of-
stat?
Apparently,
Oh my god.
That is real.
because of GM rules, OCO was forced to pick him here, or else there's a solid chance this pick would have donned the crown of Mr. Irrelevant for this draft class. Our attempts to trade up for other quarterbacks in this class were thwarted, so I guess we'll have to roll with this bum.
Wow.
He really did throw 27 picks.
Is that a record?
That's
That's
That's pretty
incredible.
gotta be a record. He did
In
it
14 games. That's amazing. Well done. Good job, Beck.
Good job. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's just helping out the DSFL. He's making defensive players have a good time.
That's true. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
As a
that's
GM, that's
BB.
really all you care about.
Yeah, that's admirable. Wow.
Okay. Up next, we have Nola with pick 20. And with that pick, they're going to select another trade. So it looks like Orange County traded up to get pick 20, and Sir Peter Jackson, who I believe is D. Rector, cornerback, and New Orleans receives Dallas Fort Worth, who is an offensive lineman in return. Oh, and it looks like Orange County retains cap for both players. Wow. All right, so
Ballers.
now we've got Orange County.
Which has got to be Zan again.
Yep.
Yes. And so they just picked, and now they get to pick again. And with this pick, they are taking good player from user Lego.
Can't believe they got
well,
a good
that
player.
makes it
this
easy then.
late.
No need to read the notes. You've
Yeah.
explained everything we need.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's a good player. So here's what they had to say. Regression will be hitting our defense pretty hard. Our goal with this pick is to pick a good player as we build up our defense piece by piece. This username and player name fit the bill perfectly. They were an excellent earner early on, and we hope to get them back to that high level of activity and add a foundational piece along our D line.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep. There it
Yeah,
is.
he's
Good
definitely
player.
definitely someone like a lot of people had them mocked in the first round. But he obviously slipped a bit, and I'm sure this is why OCO traded up for both their GM pick and them to make sure they got a good player here.
Yeah, he'll
Yep.
surely be a building block for that
Player
defense.
here.
Oh my God, Russ.
Buddy.
That was great. I loved it.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Looks like we have UC and the Copperheads back on the clock.
So, with the 21st overall pick, the Austin Copperheads select Charlie Brown, cornerback. Just forgive me, guys, for a second. I need to go and throw up because this pick is terrible. I don't know what we're doing, but we fucked up. I'm sorry, guys.
None of us know what you're doing. It's okay.
Yeah, well, in all seriousness, Kyle is a user. He's pretty okay, and we're very excited that we got to bring him back here.
Nice.
That's kind
And,
of high praise, gotta say. Okay, that's kind of a little bit exaggerating how he is.
He put it in the inflator. It's okay.
Yeah. Also, I believe he's switching to kicker, right?
That would be correct.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah.
Next up we have Orange County again. My goodness. It's in.
And with the 22nd pick, sorry, the notes were taking a second to load. Orange County, geez, will be select.
It is
And
Orange Counter. We got to keep a
yeah.
counter how many picks they have.
They will be selecting hot chocolate from Ravens Fran from Ontario. As temps cooled this past season, so did our offense. Hot chocolate will hopefully provide some sweet heat to our offensive attack. HFFO, as the user is also known as, is a longtime veteran of sim leagues, So it's great to add another experienced user to the team. Yeah, so he's a pretty well known user. He's known as Habs fan from Ontario, in the SHL. I think he's been in sim leagues like ages, like maybe 10 years. I don't know.
He was the first co-GM of the Wraiths, I think.
I think that's correct. I think he was something like that. So we got some good
Also,
research here.
I believe was also the GM of New Orleans before they were New Orleans, when they were Las Vegas.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
I think.
I think you're right. I think he was the one who got the expansion. If this was someone else, apologize, but yeah, either way, if he's back and earning well, he is going to be a good piece for OCO. And he seems like a really cool guy. Our scouts liked him in scouting too, so I think this is going to be a great pick for them.
Yeah, I was a little bit upset that we took a running back at pick 4 with Wrecker, because HFFO was one of my best conversations that I had. Definitely like top 3, I would say. But yeah, I'm sure Orange County will use him well. And next up, we have the Sailfish.
The Sailfish have a pick. That's crazy.
Wow.
It's not OCO or Honolulu. That's wild. Okay, and with the 23rd pick, the Sarasota Sailfish select Apollo program, user Modern Duke. They have some notes here. With this pick, we go back to the London War Room connection. Duke is a veteran user in the league and is well liked among the Sailfish. Though he has been a Yeti since the beginning, Duke also secretly loves the Sailfish, and I know he will be thrilled by this pick. As a CB, he fills a future need on the team, and we hope to keep him around for a while, even though we hear he is a bit money hungry. Duke was a Duck, I think, when he joined the league. I want to say he was maybe one of my Ducks. Our Ducks?
I don't think
DC?
so. Wasn't he before that?
He was a Marshall before they changed into Ducks.
Yeah.
And then
Who am I thinking of?
he's the founder of the London Royals. So him and Deadly, basically when you guys joined the league, they created London. So he's probably more associated with London these days.
Right. London
Yep.
and Dallas.
He was a Duck,
Yeah.
or Marshall, whatever. So
A Marshall.
I don't know. I'm not sure if he was part of the switch. He was either like right before they switched or after. He might have been then, because he was like one of those players that played for Wokers in both Minnesota, San Antonio, and then Chicago or Colorado. But either way, he's a great user, and the only reason he fell was because of his he has a pretty interesting career path that he's looking to go on.
right.
So
looks like he got some inspiration from Nunk, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe a little inspiration from some
with inflation
Cristiano
these days,
Ronaldo or something.
Yeah.
he would get to that offer.
Catch Modern Duke in Qatar in a few years, playing in actually Saudi Arabia in a few years.
Big cash.
All right,
They
Russ.
won't have any more after.
Looks like it's your
I
first
get to read
pick.
for my own team, dude. This is crazy. I didn't know this would happen tonight.
Wild.
Really?
But it does. And so with our second round pick and our only pick in this draft, we select an absolute bum.
Yep.
The slide gonna come up, or there we go. Yeah. Brooks Piggott, CK Royal 92. That is my co-GM. He has been a GM of San Jose for 5 IRL years. He has been here since the first season. Yep. Not day one, you absolute clown. But CK is
in the figure.
I mean, he really is the league. You know, he's been around since the beginning. He's been a GM almost the whole time, and he knows so much, and he's been so vital to my development in the league and me getting excited about thinking about GMing and trying to be involved with a team. And so I've been here 3 years now because of his help. And We're going to keep this thing rolling in San Jose, and hopefully Brooks Pigott, those for you who don't know, is the creator of our wonderful sim
I was hoping you would mention
that we love so much. So this is maybe an attempt to try and get a little sim luck on our side by praising our god Brooks Pigott.
The targeting penalties. He's probably going to set the career record for targeting penalties, like getting targeted.
We'll see. We will see. I don't know. Hopefully not. Don't hit my guy in the head.
That's 15 yards.
He's lost a lot of marbles already. Okay, he can't afford to lose anymore.
Okay. Pick 25. As Negs just said in the YouTube chat, the Chubby Unicorns are up next. So, with pick 25, the Cape Town Crash will select linebacker Kenny McCormick, user Lucid Dreams. Another GM pick. We forgot to say reach for the last two GM picks.
I didn't forget. It's not a reach. Got him.
Yeah, this is the first reach.
Okay, I guess that's
Yep,
fair.
there
You
we
can get
go.
away with
Attaboy.
it by saying that. Reach, anyway.
Yes.
Negs said, we were definitely not forced to take Lucid at this pick and are very excited for the player and user as the first ever draft pick of the Cape Town Crash. Lol JK Reach.
Yeah, fair.
Yep.
Big Time
Yeah,
Reach.
There it is.
No other comment.
Yep.
That's one of our favorite bands is Big Time Reach.
Big Okay. Honolulu's up next. Let's move on.
Did you like that one?
I don't know. I can't decide if I like that one.
So, with the 26th overall pick, the Honolulu Hahalua select Luigi Lanikai. Here's what they had to say about this pick. Should have been 1 overall.
Yep, and that's it.
Yeah, can't really disagree with that.
Yeah, it's a fact.
I
You hate when
disagree.
teams mess things up.
I think this is a reach at pick 26.
Well, that's
It definitely is. I
that's
think
an
so,
objective
too.
Ice Bear,
fact.
whenever I scouted Ice Bear for the ISFL draft on his first player, he didn't even know that I was a former Minnesota GM, and he was a Minnesota player the year after I stepped down.
Yeah, well, we didn't teach the history, I guess.
Guess not.
That's on
me. No, that's on Zan. He needs to teach everyone the history.
That's a good point.
He's clearly
we like to
the-
blame
This
Zan.
This is definitely the
That's
kind of
fair. Harsh but fair.
You want-
Harsh but
Yeah.
fair.
Okay. Yep, we got the
I guess
Hawks.
I'll go with while I'm talking.
Yep.
Baltimore is up next, and with this pick, Baltimore will be selecting another reach with Antoine Winfield Jr. Obligatory GM pick here. It is yet another young defender to create an incredible core in both quality and quantity to the Hawks roster, filling in at a less desired position in order to let others on the team shine more, with the trade back with OCO helping secure a little more value as the rebuild soon turns into a championship push with the acquired roster. So, yeah,
Reach.
from Paulette, reach, yeah.
Okay.
That's all we got to say.
Yep.
Another
reach. Arizona's up next.
the 28th overall pick, the Arizona Outlaws select Mr. Goat, Gucci Gurley. He's a running back. And here is what Katasa had to say this time. So we had Sima last time, now it's Katasa. There was a point in this draft where we considered making a trade that would move us up in the second round, and with that trade, I had Mr. Goat on my board. While it ended up falling through, we were still able to get our guy thanks to a run of GM picks. I've known this guy since his first player when I drafted to Tijuana, and to see him come back so far as a user, it makes me ecstatic to bring him back to Arizona.
Dang,
Ecstatic.
they had a trade in the works. I had no idea. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
Wow.
I bet you didn't have any idea.
Too busy reading ISFL history, not living in the present.
You got to study the past to learn from the mistakes.
I guess so.
That's
All right.
true.
Like trading. It's a mistake.
Next up, we got the Wraiths. And with pick 29, they will select wide receiver Brandon Rojas, user RBR018, or maybe 018. It's hard to tell. Arcs says the Yellowknife Wraiths are are excited to welcome Brandon Rojas and RBO18 to the team. We were impressed with this league rookie and consider ourselves very fortunate that he was available to us at this spot in the draft. We are confident that Yellowknife is the right place for Brandon to grow, develop, and be a dominant force on the field and help our offense take the next step forward. Very nice words from Arcs. And next up we have the Yeti.
I was just reading the notes on this one, and I'm excited about it too. So, with pick 30, Colorado selects DeAndre Crover, user A Cup of Bread. That's a coyote. And their notes say, I admit up front I am high on any user who retires a player through spontaneous combustion, and combine that with bread being one of the greatest things on the planet, and this seemed like the smartest pick we could make. Happy to see A Cup of Bread return to the league. We hope to have them happy in Colorado for the foreseeable future. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Cup of Bread was in Kansas City.
Kansas City, yep, when we were in the war room.
Yes, but was my player there at the same time? I don't remember.
Probably. I think mine was probably gone, but I think yours was still there.
Anyway, Cup of Bread, we're happy to see you back. We always want people back in the league, so hopefully this one goes better than your first one, and you have a great time.
Absolutely. Good luck. And now we're on to pick 31 with the Cape Town Crash, not Curse. And they will select running back Malik Jordan, user Him. Negs says, Him is someone that showed a ton of promise in rookie chat and also BBB, and we were very happy to see him still here. We look forward to seeing what he can do as a member of the Crash. Cape Town will also be trademarking the phrase Him is Him. Like HEM is HIM. Yeah. Congrats to Him. And next up we have my team, the Butchers. And with pick 32, we are selecting tight end Hex Amofa, user Hexify. We actually missed Hexify during our scouting, so hopefully there's no hard feelings and hopefully we can talk soon. But as we poured over our draft board and our scouting notes here at pick 32, we just could not justify picking anyone else over Hex that we had scouted. The earning was just too good, along with their history in the league. This felt like another safe pick, similar to Thor, rather than swinging for the fences with some random that may end up being a star, but you just never know. Consistency is always a very good trait. So happy to have Hexify on the team.
Yeah, Hex is great. He'll make sure you drink water.
Is this another New York pick?
No, this guy,
okay.
I knew him mostly from our Dallas days. He was crazy active there. And hopefully, if you're able to get in contact with him, he'll do the same for your Chicago Butchers and make game day a fun day.
Heck yeah. Love to hear that.
You mean Hex, yeah.
Hex, dang. Yeah, Hex, yeah. Also, Hexamofa sounds like a D's Nuts joke, if I'm being honest.
It absolutely does. I bet it is.
Okay, next up is Sarasota.
It is indeed. And with the 33rd pick in the draft, Sarasota has selected Demarius Cook, user Cook, from the Luchadors. Another selfish pick, another DB. With a couple of aging safeties, we were excited to see Cook still on the board when our pick came up. They showed a lot of activity late last season, are a great value this late in the draft. We look forward to bringing Cook on board and developing them into the next great sailfish safety. I like the render. I love a Seahawk.
Yeah, I didn't scout Cook, but I heard good things from our scout who was in contact with them. Also, I believe they did the off-season task, or maybe it was first rounders, which is very impressive.
We love to see it. We love to see a little ambition in the off season.
Absolutely. All right, pick 32, New Orleans.
34
selects Lenny Lyons. I'm confused because I thought this was traded. Can someone double check that for me?
I'm a little confused here too because Nola said we didn't pick this draft, and here we are.
Yeah.
Right,
It was
right.
definitely traded. Sorry, Lenny, if you got your hopes up.
Yes.
It was traded
So
to
Well, I think they got the
it was
wrong
traded
purple.
to Cape Town Crash.
yeah, Cape Town Crash
So-
for 2.5 million in next year's cap space. So the slide is wrong. You're on the Cape Town Crash. Negs did write a note, and he said, Lenny Lyons Sr. was one of the greatest ever DSFL players, and we believe Lenny Lyons Jr. will be able to produce at that level at the DSFL and also the ISFL level this time around. With him still available, we knew we wanted to get back into the draft to select him, and we are happy that we made the trade. So congrats to Lenny for Negs being so excited to trade up for you. Next up, we have the Copperheads.
Right, the 35th overall pick, the Austin Copperheads select Saul McGill, wide receiver from Portland. I think all I have to say about this one is Breaking Bad reference. Yeah, that's it.
Gladys Render is the guy from Breaking Bad too.
Very true. Looks
I remember
great.
that time in Breaking Bad they played NFL, and yeah.
I think that Bob Odenkirk was sick that day, so they replaced him with this guy.
Nobody noticed. Fun fact.
Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, the Orange Counter Audis, as 26 referred to them after Zan misspoke earlier. They're on the clock.
Stop reading the wiki, Zane.
Okay.
He might be in trouble. He might be in distress.
Yeah, he might.
Oh, he left the VC. Oh, he's
right,
his
bet.
internet may have dropped. All right. With pick 36, Orange County has selected cornerback Anthony Simmons. I actually had a really good chat with Starchy Chef. We were thinking about taking them with the last pick where we took Hexify. But like I said, we decided to go with a established user rather than a newer user. And we also heard that Starchy was starting to think they didn't have time for the league. So
Hey, I'm back. I'm
you're
sorry,
back.
my Discord. Yeah.
All good. Go ahead.
Well, I have notes too. So
Go ahead.
So this is what OCO had to say. Sorry, I don't know what just happened. My Discord just crapped out for a second and I couldn't click.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
Speak. With the 36th selection, Zan picked Anthony Simmons from Tijuana. GM chat is a wild play sometimes, and near the end of the draft is no exception. Whoops, I can't read. Our war room was in agreement that this was who we wanted to take, so when Zan made the pick, we were happy to agree to it. We hope Starchy can one day go in history as the best draft pick Zan ever made, ahead of every other player on his own team. Well, so
what a
the draft is kind of winding down, and I think someone said to just click random, so I clicked the random button for them, and it picked this guy. And hopefully he can come back and be a great user. And it would be really funny if he did end up being, the best draft pick I ever made.
I would love that, actually. Yeah.
It would be really depressing, but it'd be awesome for OCO and the league in general, I guess.
Okay. Next up, we have Baltimore. Not sure who's reading for Baltimore.
Probably Zan, if we had to guess.
I don't think they left me a note for this pick, but I will wing it.
Bet.
Yep.
So, with this pick, Baltimore is selecting J Money from user J Money. So they didn't really give much notes, but based on his TPE and stuff, it looks like he hasn't really been really active at all. But I'm sure Baltimore is really excited to have him on their team. and are hoping that he can come back now that he's been drafted and turn him into a great player. He obviously had a pretty solid DSFL season.
Yeah, So Evil scouted J Money, and he said that he actually was in contact with him when he created and was trying to coach him through creating, and wasn't getting a ton of responses. But the fact that he was in contact with someone at some point is a good sign for Baltimore. So hopefully you guys can get in contact again. And next up, we have pick 38, which is Han, and I believe this is the last pick in the draft. Is that right?
This is our Mr. Irrelevant right here.
Mr. Irrelevant. All right.
So, with the pick, Honolulu select wide receiver Chris Holla, user Chris Holla 0. They didn't leave me a note. They just let me know that they picked him, but they didn't like say anything. It's just blank. So look, you can imagine a draft note here.
I'm sure you can imagine a draft pick at this point. You've seen 37 of them so far. So, yeah, I believe Chris Holla left all Discords at this point, or maybe never joined them. I'm not sure. So, yeah, that does it. That's the last pick. Congratulations to everyone that was drafted. It's been a fun draft stream. Thank you guys for joining me.
We did it.
Thank you, Zan, for all your endless ISFL history knowledge.
The knowledge, the
Yeah.
most useful knowledge we have.
Yeah, who
Yeah,
needs?
I'm sure that comes up
real
very
knowledge?
useful in your life all the time.
This is his
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
What
I
do you
don't got
mean?
too much going on outside of this.
Hey, at least you got this.
Hey,
right?
that's not what we're saying.
All right. Yeah. Thank you for everyone for watching. Congrats.
Enjoy your new teams.
Yep. Bye.
Do that. Bye.
Meow.
Bye.